5. And of course, as we wait for the quorum to be constituted, we run you through some business of the House, which has been transacted on the floor of the House today. So the House has considered 2 ordinary questions, understanding Order 80, 5 grouped questions, understanding Order 83, and of course 1 committee report. And the House is still considering 1 private member's motion, which is under consideration.
Proudly hosted here in Lusaka by the National Assembly of Zambia. This year's theme, repositioning the role of parliamentarians for enhancing health systems for emergency response, equity, resilience and sustainability in the context of attaining universal health coverage, captures the essence of why we are gathered here. It challenges us to reflect that not only
September 2025.
It challenges us to reflect not only on where our health systems stand, but on how we, as legislators, can reshape the future
the delay in completing the construction of the Besona Bridge, which connects Kensali and the Maloli Parliamentary constituency, is due to
officially declare the 17th meeting of the network of African Parliamentary Committees
at September 2025 and the estimated cost of the
I wish you fruitful deliberations and an enjoyable stay in Lusaka. Thank you.
The project is likely to be completed in the 4th quarter of 2027. We cross back to the floor.
When business was suspended, the House was considering the private member's motion moved by the Honourable Member for Sorois East, that this House urges government to establish a National Ethics Committee responsible for ethical professional practice standards in the professional community in the country. And the Honourable Member for Chiluvi was debating. May the Honourable Member continue?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What I was trying to underscore is that it is very difficult to even implement such a committee, and I don't know, this committee, I find it that it's against corporate governance for a lot of reasons. Maybe I would like to refer to the mover of the motion that you should read properly Article 19 in the Constitution of Zambia under the Bill of Rights, which talks about freedom of conscience. And freedom of conscience also means that people are free to exercise intellectual freedom, and it also conflicts with laws on intellectual property, because laws on intellectual property encourages an issue or an approach of subsidiarity, where each and every profession should be respected within its confinement. Given that background, Mr. Speaker, I see that my good brother is pushing a BID motion. I think it's a still baby, which should be appreciated within its confinement. And I all hope that next time such a motion comes in, there should be proper consultation, especially that maybe you would have perused through some of the existing laws, so that when you are trying to pursue a particular cause, especially to do with ethics and standards of professions, you are attempting to collapse different laws in actually one basket. And doing so may also mean that you are swimming against the currents of corporate governance. And Mr. Speaker, I want to also emphasize that the Constitution is very clear on how different professions should exercise, for instance, if they are employed by government, should exercise these ethics. There are ethics for civil servants in the Constitution. And those ethics, if it's meant that ethics should be exercised at a place of work, it be an industrial environment or white-collar environment, it simply means that those different professions, through the human resource, they'll be taken care of, because the human resource, of course, has got certain standards that different professions should fit in. If you have employed an accountant at a place of work, there are issues that should subject that particular employer to, including the lawyers and other things. So there's no need to venture into this elephant that he has brought to this parliament. I submit, Mr. Speaker, that this is a stillborn baby which should not even be encouraged, especially that's talking about professional standards. I submit.
The Honourable Member for Solwezi East. Sorry? The Acting Lead of Government Business to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to respond to the private member's motion moved by Honorable Alex Katakwe, Honorable Member of Parliament for Solwezi East, and seconded by Honorable Kamboni, and debated upon by Honorable Member of Parliament for Chilubi Island, concerning the establishment of a National Ethics Committee. Mr. Speaker, government acknowledges the honorable member's commitment to promoting professional integrity in our country, and indeed shares the aspirations for the highest ethical standards across all professions. However, for the reasons I'm going to outline now, government cannot, and I'll repeat, cannot support the creation of a stand-alone National Ethics Committee at this time. We have a famous saying by the Americans, which goes, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And that's exactly what this government is going to do. Nothing is broken. We are not going to fix anything, Mr. Speaker. And the reasons are as follows. Zambia already has ethics frameworks for various professional bodies. Mr. Speaker, this August House should be aware that Zambia already has a well-established and legally anchored frameworks governing professional ethics across all major sectors. Each profession is regulated by a statutory body created by the Act of Parliament with express disciplinary powers. These include the Health Professions Council of Zambia, Health under Health Profession Act number 24 of 2009, the Law Association of Zambia, Legal Practitioners Act, CAP 30, the Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants, and Accounts Act number 13 of 2008, the Engineering Institute of Zambia, the Teaching Council of Zambia, and the National Health Research Authority under the National Health Research Act number 2 of 2013. Among others, of course, government also has a code of ethics, government itself, for the public sector, and the Parliamentary Ministerial Code of Conduct Act. The ethics framework is, therefore, already comprehensive. 2, we risk duplication and institutional conflict if we went that way. Mr. Speaker, creating a National Ethics Committee with a broad sector mandate would risk duplicating the disciplinary authority of existing statutory boards and creating overlapping jurisdictions. Practitioners would find themselves answerable to two separate ethics structures, their own statutory regulator and the new committee, causing confusion and potentially inconsistent outcomes. Research on Zambia's own experience has cautioned that a general coordinating ethics body should not lead to the usurping of responsibilities of individual institutions. Multiplying bodies does not automatically improve ethical conduct. Number 3, we have concerns on harmonization of professional conduct codes of ethics. It may be practically impossible to harmonize respective professional ethics for various sectors due to peculiarities of each profession. For instance, the professional ethics for medical professions may not necessarily conform to those of teaching professions, engineers, and lawyers. It is therefore necessary to allow each profession to clearly define their own ethical codes and prescribe the appropriate enforcement mechanisms. Where there are gaps, it may be necessary to enhance existing professional code of ethics within each sector. Mr. Speaker, fiscal prudence and efficiency in public administration. Establishing a new national committee would require enabling legislation, recurrent budgetary allocation, staffing, and infrastructure. Government is committed to efficient use of public resources and cannot justify the creation of new institutions that would largely duplicate functions already formed by existing statutory bodies. It would be far more prudent to channel resources into strengthening and enforcement capacity of those bodies that already exist. Leveraging the national guidance and religious affairs policy is another area of concern. As a vehicle for mainstreaming national values and ethical standards across all sectors of society, including the professional community, the Department of National Guidance is mandated to promoting the inculcation of national values, principles of which professional code of conduct of ethics are part. The department prepares reports on the progress being made on the application of national values and principles for presentation by the Republican President, Ms. Hakainde Hichilema, to the House every year. The department will continue to monitor the implementation of this mandate, this in various focal point persons across sectors. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, let me reiterate that government appreciates the spirit and good intentions behind this motion. Make no mistake, we appreciate the good intentions behind this very, very important motion. The promotion of ethical and professional practice standards is an objective that this government is deeply committed to and has demonstrated through the comprehensive legal, institutional, and policy frameworks already in place. However, the establishment of stand-alone National Ethics Committee at this time is neither here nor there. It is not necessary, neither is it advisable. Given the robust network of existing institutions, regulatory bodies, and mechanisms that already serve this purpose across all sectors and professions, rather than create a new institution that risks duplication and fragmentation, the government's approach is to strengthen, empower, and better coordinate the existing frameworks to deliver even more effective results for the people of Zambia. I therefore urge this august House to take note of the existing mechanisms and to support the government's approach of strengthening what we already have, rather than establishing a parallel structure that may divert resources from the very institutions that are already doing this important work. A bird in hand is worth two in the bush. Therefore, government does not support the motion. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Solwezi East to wind up debate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the members who have debated, and thank you for the response from the Minister, and indeed thank you that the acknowledgement that the National Ethics Committee play a crucial role in regulating research, healthcare practices, and public policy at national level. Mr. Speaker, it is also acknowledged that indeed National Ethics Committee provide a centralized independent body to ensure that activities involving human subjects, sensitive technologies, and public health strategies adhere to high moral and legal standards. Of course, acknowledging the advantages like protection of research participants, centralized standards and harmonization, independence and unbiased review, public trust and credibility, policy guidance on emerging issues, increased research quality and rigor, legal compliance and accountability, as well as expertise and diversity. Mr. Speaker, indeed, in essence of National Ethics Committee balances the need for scientific progress with the absolute requirements to respect human rights and dignity. And having listened, Mr. Speaker, to the responses, it is my view that with the leave of this House, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the motion for further consideration. Thank you.
Order. Honourable Member, our rules state that at this stage you can't withdraw, but would rather subject it to a question. I put the question. The question is that this House urges government to establish a National Ethics Committee responsible for ethical professional practice standards in the professional community in the country. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. No. The noes have it. The question is in negative. The clerk will now read the orders of the day.
The Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025, report stage.
When business was interrupted yesterday, Wednesday, 4th March 2026, the House was considering the report stage of the Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025. And the Honourable Minister of Finance and National Planning was about to propose that the report of the committee be adopted. May the Honourable Minister continue?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and indeed, I do beg to move that the report of the committee be adopted.
As no notice has been received of any further amendment, it is your will that the report of the committee be adopted. Any objection? I see none. Report adopted. Day for third reading.
Day for third reading tomorrow, Mr. Speaker.
Third reading of the bill to take place tomorrow. Next order.
The Agriculture Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025, third reading.
The Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the third time.
The question is that the bill now be read the third time. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Agriculture Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025.
Next order.
Thanks. The President's Address, motion of 24th February, resumption of debate.
When the House adjourned on Tuesday, 3rd March 2026, the House was considering the motion moved by the Honorable Member for Chikankata that the thanks of the Assembly be recorded for the exposition of public policy contained in the President's address. Any further debate? The Honorable Member for Kafue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. The people of Kafue didn't want to miss it, to register their thanks, indeed, and appreciation for the President's speech, which, as usual, was inspiring and talking to the many developmental areas where we have registered a lot of progress. In the speech, I quote the President where he says the reforms that the New Dawn government is undertaking do not just mean mere support for our communities. They mean provision of more opportunities for women and our youth, and also greater access to resources for some of our most vulnerable members of the community. Indeed, even as we are looking to celebrating the Women's Day and the Youth Day, there's something worth celebrating about because of the many developmental milestones we have scored as a government. You cannot talk about these successes without reference, of course, to the enhanced CDF, where we got an assurance that come 14th National Assembly will be approving another budget which will have a bigger CDF than the current 40 million that we are still celebrating. Kafue indeed has a lot to appreciate about this CDF because 461 cooperatives and clubs have received, funding. We have a good number of our people in Kafue that have also received these loans. A lot of projects in education alone, we are not talking about less than 15 education projects that we have undertaken. When it comes to desks, Mr. Speaker, as Kafue, we had a deficit of nearly 13,000 desks. As we are talking now, we have closed up this yawning gap to over 80% in terms of desk provision to our schools. Right now, as we are talking, we are busy delivering the last batch we did from the last grant to the various schools around the constituency. It's exciting for me as an educationist when I hear government report about 2.5 million children going back to school on account of free education. Mr. Speaker, this is the biggest justice and empowerment we can give to our people. And I do agree at one time, when our critics were saying that the classrooms are too congested, indeed it was better to have children sitting in a congested classroom than being outside the classroom, because we are progressively, addressing, the issues of classroom space. Like I have just talked about a number of projects that we have implemented in Kafue, not only from CDF, but also from the central government. We have new schools that have come up, like the Solomon Secondary School. We are looking forward to the completion of the Chikupi Secondary School, which is another good project, that will also ease the accommodation issues of our teachers, because we have a staff housing complement of 20 houses, which once completed, will certainly give relief to our teachers. In the security wing, Mr. Speaker, yesterday we were reflecting even on the open day for our police officers, and I was proud, to cite some of the projects that we have done in the security sector from the CDF, and we will continue to do, and this is only being made possible from the enhanced CDF. Mr. Speaker, I'm touching on other programs that this government has also implemented and has improved the dignity of our people. The social cash transfer. In 2021, when we just entered government, in Kafue, we had only 3,300 beneficiaries from the social cash transfer program. As we are talking now, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about 11,000 people having been put on this program. This is more than, it's almost quadrupling the amount or the number of beneficiaries. And these are some of the positive developments that people cannot afford, to ignore, because they are very significant. Of course, not to talk about the Cash for Work, which is the first ever program of its kind that has come to give some relief by way of temporary employment for our people, even as we are looking at long-term sustainable solutions about how our people can be empowered. We are happy and glad that in Kafue we have at least an M phase, the new Baobab multi-facility zone, which is coming up. And indeed, this one will be a big relief to our people who have been crying for the many industries that went down with privatization. But we have new hope now, Mr. Speaker, because these industries are coming up. Our own nitrogen chemicals of Zambia has arisen from the ashes, because now they are self-sustaining, they are able to export, and they've forged strategic, partnerships that are seeing and injecting a lot of life in the industry. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the President urged us, to ensure that we have free and fair elections. I think we owe this to ourselves, because any election that does not come out free and fair is potential for conflict, and we do not want conflict in Zambia. So we hope that indeed these elections will be peaceful, and we are looking forward to the constituting of the 14th National Assembly, in which those 20 women will come on board, the people with disabilities and the youths, because in this House we passed the Bill 7, Mr. Speaker, and we have a new act that allows now for coming on board of those special interest groups. Mr. Speaker, I want to use this platform, because this is the only platform I have, to dispel that propaganda which is going around that the MP of Kafue, who has been such an ardent advocate of women and delimitation, did not vote for Bill 10. My vote is actually registered, in this House, and those people who are wishing that the MP will be penalized on that, I think it's just wishful thinking on their part, because my yes vote to Bill 10 is very well documented in this House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member for Kafue, you did need to talk about your voting Bill 10. because whoever voted, this is a digitalized institution. Whoever voted, we have the records. Whoever didn't vote, we have the records. So everything is documented. So there's no need for you to stress if you speak to your conscience. Honorable members, I have an announcement to make. As you are aware, the debate on the motion of thanks, which began on Tuesday, 24th February 2026, will end on Wednesday, 18th March 2026. In this regard, I wish to inform the House that today, Thursday, 5th March, and tomorrow, Friday, 6th March 2026, will serve as the last 2 days for debate by backbenchers, while the last 2 days of debate will be reserved for cabinet ministers and provincial ministers. Honorable members, I would like to encourage you to debate early and not to wait for the last minute, as there been no enough time on the floor of the House. In this regard, you are encouraged to debate as soon as possible. Thank you. The Honourable Member for Pemba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to debate the motion on the floor of this House. Mr. Speaker, on the 20th of March 2026, this August House was privileged to host His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Mr. Speaker, the visionary and the great leader of this great nation, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, passionately spoke about the progress made on the application of national values and principles. Mr. Speaker, the good people of Pemba Conference appreciate the good leadership of the UPND government. Mr. Speaker, the enhanced CDF from 1.6 to 40 million, it gives a relief to the good people of Pemba Conference in terms of development. When the UPND government formed government in 2021, it found that the education from early childhood education to grade 12 was almost collapsing. Mr. Speaker, we had the challenge of classroom spaces where our children were learning under the trees. I'm a proud member of Parliament for Pemba Conference to report to this August House and the nation at large that under the UPND government, we have created over 60 classroom spaces, and at the moment, our children are no longer learning under the trees. Mr. Speaker, our children were actually sitting on the floor while attending classes. It is my pleasure and honor to inform this August House that the situation has now improved because of the CDF that has been enhanced. We have managed to provide desks for our learners. Mr. Speaker, I remember when I just won the parliamentary seat, I visited one of my ward and a school called Jompa with over 400 pupils, and they only had 35 desks. You can imagine the situation we had. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the good people of Pemba Conference, I want to appreciate this government, especially on the allocation of teachers to Pemba Conference. The government employed over 42,000 teachers, and 326 teachers have been deployed to Pemba Conference. Mr. Speaker, we had a situation where a school learning from grade 1 to grade 9 only had 3 to 6 teachers. And with the deployment of 326 teachers, the situation has drastically improved. And to add Soti Sana, the introduction of feeding program, and of course, the improvement with the pupil-teacher ratio has helped our rural schools to improve on the passing rate. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the government that we have managed to bring higher education closer to the learners. A total number of 14 schools that were learning from grade 1 to grade 9 have now been upgraded to secondary schools to be learning from Form 1 to Form 4. The only thing, Mr. Speaker, the good people of Pemba constituency are looking forward is to have universities in provinces where we don't have universities. And I'm a happy member of parliament to hear His Excellency that something is being cooked towards the same. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, looking at time that I don't seem to have, let me quickly comment on child marriage, teenage pregnancy, and child defilement. His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema acknowledged the fact that we seem to still have a problem pertaining to this scam. Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking on behalf of the girl child. The girl child is asking the society as to why this society has glorified the defilers who impregnated a child. Mr. Speaker, the girl child is asking the fathers out there why a defiler who impregnated a girl is seen to be a father, a brother, and a son-in-law. Mr. Speaker, the girl child is asking the parents out there, the guardians, as to why pregnancy has become a shield protecting a defiler from prosecution. Mr. Speaker, when a child is defiled, in most cases, the parents, the guardian, they concentrate on the pregnancy and not defilement. As a result, this seems to be a cover-up, leaving these criminals scot-free. The only thing they concentrate is to demand for compensation against damage and the stoppage or disturbance of this child who was a learner. As a result, most of these cases do not actually go to court. Therefore, I want to appeal to the parents, the headmen, and the society to protect the girl child if we are to end this ugly scourge. We need to concentrate and make sure that in as much as the girl has been impregnated, the suspect should be taken to court. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Chirovi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like first to start by appreciating that the President on page 2 did recognize the contribution by the Ghanaian President who came through, and I think he talked about the ties that we have had on Pan-Africanism, which is, brings us together as brothers. Further, Mr. Speaker, I also want to appreciate the President's link to the teenage girls who dropped out of school. They say good things are supposed to be appreciated in looking at that. However, Mr. Speaker, I find it a problem, especially that when we want to speak to national values, which are in Article 8, and among them we have constitutionalism and democracy, we also have social justice, we have a lot of them there, including ethics and all that. But, Mr. Speaker, the President does not just come for an annual ceremony. It is the qualification of national values that are supposed to be mainstreamed in implementing government programs. And I think maybe the Minister of Youth needs to know that I'm also government, and I'm part of that particular government that I'm talking about. Mr. Speaker, the environment we have governed ourselves for the past years, we may not qualify to be upholding good governance. Why we may not have qualified to be upholding good governance? We know, for instance, Mr. Speaker, that the laws on cyber laws, that was there, and I think they were enacted around 2022, our brothers and sisters promised that those laws will not be put in a manner and tone that will conflict with other human rights. Alas, Mr. Speaker, these laws have been used as an instrument to suppress opposing voices. Mr. Speaker, further, we have seen the implementation of a colonial law on sedition. I think it is as back as 1938, which is being used to weaponize the environment against the opposition. Mr. Speaker, my other worry is that when we look at the implementation of national values, it's actually a demand by the Constitution itself in Article 9 that these national values should be used to, one, interpret the Constitution, two, to make the laws and interpret laws, three, for state policy, to implement state policy. That is what the Constitution demands. Mr. Speaker, if we are to put the national values on that scale, we have failed, lamentably failed. Mr. Speaker, because we do not have a framework to implement these, we have taken national values as something that we can just talk about when it comes to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the President on page 11 talks about the Mshavati Technical Committee. The Constitution in Article 79 talks about how we are supposed to come up with amendments that have to do with Constitution. We all know that the Mshavati report was just a by-the-way thing. It was not implemented anywhere. We saw that at the time that the Mshavati report was supposed to feed into the mainstream making of the Constitution, it was not accepted, as it has been always. We saw that even after they presented the report, they were meant to report to a committee of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to watchdog institutions in the nation, these watchdog institutions, I think, are more concerned about just seeing where the opposition are very and nice. Mr. Speaker, I go on further on page 12. The President talks about freedom of assembly and freedom of association. We are going towards, national elections. On 13th August, Mr. Speaker, can I be protected from that character in there? Yes, honestly speaking, I'm debating and he keeps on, and I'm not protected. Am I not a member of Parliament?
Honorable member.
Yes, I know he's from the market, but I mean, this is not a market. Yes, it's a house of discipline.
Honorable member.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, what I was trying to underscore is that, Mr. Speaker, this market behavior, really. Yes, I know there's a number chairman and all that, but I mean, we can't. We can't. Yes. Eh? We can't. This is a minister behaving like that. Eh? Kadwali market, where? Eh? Mr. Speaker, I'll continue. You may not understand.
Concentrate on your debate, Honorable Member.
Yeah, but he's eating in 2 minutes by question.
Your time is going.
Yes. Anyway, I can tell this situation has been allowed, but all the same, I'll forward my points. On page 12, the President talks about freedom of association and freedom of assembly. As we speak, freedoms of the opposition parties is moving in the pocket of one high G, the Head of Police, using a subsidiary law called Public Order Act, which has submerged the Constitution. And such an environment cannot produce a product called free and fair elections. It can't. Because if we are to go for free and fair elections, we first start with the environment. As we speak, Mr. Speaker, we have the Electoral Commission, which has usurped our powers. The Electoral Commission is floating on its website an act of Parliament, an amendment that is supposed to start with Parliament, then it goes to them. But we have seen the Electoral Commission calling for, like it's a committee of Parliament, calling for submissions before the law comes here. And when we look at that, we, of course, me and the Honorable Nkandu, we don't share the same values. We are cut from completely different clothes. So when we look at this, we are talking about a situation where we are supposed to be equal players. We can't have a referee behaving of already favoring one team. And I think that assault that is being done on Electoral Process Act number 35 by the Electoral Commission of Zambia should be stopped forthwith by this House. Because that kind of behavior is actually chaotic. In a democratic institution like this one. And we want to intervene that in as far as the president possibly has never been a councillor or an MP or something like that, there is no need for anyone to take advantage of him by abusing the law in that manner.
Order, Honorable Member. Order, Honorable Member.
What's your problem?
People love you.
But one debate.
The acting leader of government business adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is that the House now adjourns. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to the House. Is now adjourned.
And we have a look at business that has been discussed on the floor of the House before the end of our live broadcast.
Yes, indeed. So when business commenced at 14:30 hours, Madam Speaker did make some announcements. In the first announcement, Madam Speaker said that she received communication to the effect that in the absence of one of the Vice President who is attending to other government business, the Minister of Defense, Honorable Ambrose Eon from IONP, has been appointed acting leader of government business in the House from today, Thursday, 5th March 2026, until further notice.
Madam Madam Speaker also made an announcement regarding visitors to the institution.
On behalf of the Right Honorable Madam Speaker, and indeed on my own behalf,
teachers from Rhodes Park School in Lusaka District, and also pupils and teachers from Waterfall's Good Shepherd School in Lusaka District. Madam Speaker also recognized the presence in the public gallery of village headmen from Angelica Royal Establishment in Mazafuka District, and on behalf of the institution, she welcomed the visitors to the National Assembly.
Yes, indeed. So in the other announcements, Madam Speaker recognized the presence in the public gallery of another group of women who are aspiring candidates for members of parliament in the forthcoming general elections. Madam Speaker,
on behalf of the Right Honorable Madam Speaker, and indeed on my own behalf,
in leadership
I have the honor and privilege to welcome you all to Lusaka for the 17th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees
at Cabinet Office and Partners. And Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, welcomed the visitors.
We are deeply honored as Zambia and the National Assembly of Zambia to be entrusted to host this important gathering comprising key stakeholders from across Africa and beyond.
On behalf of the African Institute for Development Policy, I really feel honored to be at this important convening of the 17th Niapako meeting in this very vibrant city of Lusaka, which has this rich history, and I think a lot of us would agree that is now becoming a very, very critical hub for a lot of the regional conversations on development, especially in the health sector.
If so, when the plans will be implemented.
It is with profound.
The minister did say that the government has plans, and in answering part of the question, which was when the plans will be implemented, the minister said that the implementation will be done once crossing points have been assessed.
And we had a question that came from Mr. Kalagwe Mukosa Chinsali, Member of Parliament, and he posed this question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. And part A of the question wanted to find out what the cause of the delay in completing the construction of the Suma Bridge, which connects Chinsali and Malole parliamentary constituency is, and part B of the question, what the percentage of the completion of the project was as of September 2025, and part C, what the estimated cost of the outstanding works is, and part D, when the project will be completed. And in response to this question, the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development responded to say that the cause of the delay in completing the construction of Mbesuma Bridge was due to fiscal constraints, and the percentage of the completion of the project is saying that as of September 2025 it was 80% complete, and the estimated cost of the outstanding works, he did say that the estimated cost of the outstanding works was 200 million, and when the project will be completed, he did indicate that the project is likely to be completed in the fourth quarter of 2027.
Thereafter, the House did consider question 245, which came from Dr. Clement Andeleki, Kadombola Constituency Member of Parliament. He did pose a question to the Minister of Technology and Science in A, when the government will construct communication towers in Momba Chiefdom in Kazunga.
On behalf of the Right Honorable Madam Speaker, and indeed on my own behalf,
the Minister said that
I have the honor and privilege to warmly welcome you all to Lusaka for the 17th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees
and
of
on the
Health.
estimated cost of the project, the Minister said 170 million.
We are deeply honored as Zambia and the National Assembly of Zambia to be entrusted to host this important gathering comprising key stakeholders from across Africa and beyond.
On behalf of the African Institute for Development Policy, I really feel honored to be at this important convening of the 17th Niapako meeting in this very vibrant city of Lusaka, which has this rich history, and I think a lot of us would agree that is now becoming a very, very critical hub
on behalf
for of the regional conversations on development, especially in the health sector.
will also increase the radius of the catchment area.
It is with profound honor and deep sense of responsibility that I address this August gathering at the 17th Network of African Parliamentary Committees of Health in Apako meeting, here at the Molugushi International Conference Center, here in Lusaka, Zambia.
2026. And part B of the question is,
parliamentarians are not peripheral actors in the health ecosystems. They are central architects of national resilience. Through legislation, budget approvals, oversight, and constituency representative, parliamentarians shape the trajectory of health systems.
It is both an honor and a responsibility to join you here in Lusaka for NEPA 2026.
Had already upgraded six towers out of the 8, and this had been upgraded from 2G to 4G.
Equity and the health and dignity of our people.
It is with great honor and heartfelt joy that I address you all for the official opening of the 17th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees of Health, Neopako, proudly hosted here in Lusaka by the National Assembly of Zambia. This year's theme, repositioning the role of parliamentarians for enhancing health systems for emergency response, equity, resilience and sustainability in the context of attaining universal health coverage, captures the essence of why we are gathered here. It challenges us to reflect that not only on where our health systems stand, but on how we
National Ethics Committee, that this House urges the government to establish a National Ethics Committee responsible for ethical professional practice standards in the professional community in the country. And this motion was seconded by Kalomo Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Harry Kambone. And we did see Mr. Chilubi Member of Parliament add his voice to this motion, as well as the acting leader of government business in the House, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwani. And when a question was put, it was negative, so the motion did not go through.
Thereafter, the House did consider orders of the day. The Zambia Deposit Insurance Corporation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025, was considered in committee, third reading to be taken tomorrow.
And the House also considered the Agriculture Credits and Warehouse Receipts Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2025, which was considered at the third reading stage, and it's gone through.
Thereafter, there was a resumption of debate on the motion of thanks, the President's address. This is the motion of 24th February 2025. It was moved by Chikankada Member of Parliament, Ms. Jacqueline Sabawa, and we did see a number of members of Parliament add their voice to this motion.
And of course, we did hear the Second Deputy Speaker encourage the members of Parliament to speak now, to debate the motion of thanks now, because the last 2 days of the debate, which is after next week, will be reserved for the front bench only. So he encouraged all the backbenchers to debate the motion during this period before the front bench is given permission to start debating the motion.
Thank you so much. This was business which was transacted on the floor of the House today, 5th March 2025, on behalf of my co-presenter, Pauline Monga, and not forgetting our two sign language interpreters, Jason Manda and Chela Kauma. My name is Jomi Undakatama. Continue watching Parliament TV. Good evening.